in continuation with our season-ending review, we have Rohit KP and Rohit Rao and Ron with us back again. Both of them have featured previously in our videos, and we're super happy to have them back. What's up, guys? How you guys been since the last time we spoke? I hope all is well with you guys.
Yeah, quite
Yep.
happy
I'm
after the
sure you
season
guys are
ending.
feeling really fine. Yeah. I'm sure everybody's feeling great after how the season turned out at the end.
It's good we're doing this on a positive note.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Agreed. I mean, so just to start off the show, probably KP, you can go first. What is your judgment on Ole's first full season? Where do you think he stood? What do you think he's done good? What do you think he's done bad? What do you think he's the person to drive us forward? Tell us what you think.
Yeah, I think the minimum objective of the season was to finish top four. I think that's what the board had set out for Ole. And although we took like 38 weeks to manage that, and like almost the last minute, we finally got there. So I think the season overall was a success. So I think we have to divide and look at the season into two parts. One is the pre-pandemic and one is the post-pandemic. There were times in January where we looked really off the pace, especially the back-to-back defeats against Burnley and Liverpool. I thought like at that point I thought a top six finishes all what we can manage, but thankfully things turned around and this pandemic actually worked in our favor and it got us back our main players. To be fair to Ole, Pogba was out for pretty much most of the season. I think he played only a couple of games at the start, and then we lost Rashford and Martial out to major injuries. They were the primary driving force of our attack. And Ole, to give full credit to him, even though we didn't have our main players, he stuck by the team. He didn't wash out dirty linen in public like Jose. He never fell out with the media. He didn't fall out with the fans. He didn't fall out with the press, and he managed to do a stellar job in finishing top four. So I'm definitely for giving Ole at least 2 to 3 more seasons and see where he can take us. So to sum it up, it's been a positive season for United, and we are heading in the right direction.
Ron?
Yeah. I mean, I think he has covered most of the points. I agree with what he said. This season, when we started, we were hoping for top four, but then seeing how the other teams were faring, I personally was not the most confident when it came to top four ambitions. And if you see what a lot of the pundits had predicted in the beginning of the season, neither were most of them convinced that United would finish in the top four. And I'm glad that Ole has managed to prove most of us wrong, and he has got us into top four. Third position is a great finish for our team. And as for how we have played over the season, I think our performance has evolved quite a bit. Earlier, we were a counter-attacking team that was, that was just going for the kill when it came to teams that were attacking. But when it came to teams that were sitting deep, we were not able to find a solution. And then once Bruno arrived, we managed to, get that side of our game working as well. And now we had multiple options as to how to break down the opposition. So in terms of tactics, I think Ole has done a good job. There were a couple of matches here and there where I feel like his tactics were not up to scratch, but he's still learning. He's not an experienced manager like the rest. He's still learning. So based on what we have seen so far, I really think he should get a proper go at the United hot seat, and he should continue for a couple of more seasons at the minimum and see how we go. And we have set ourselves in a good position, and I think the only way is up as long as the board backs us in the transfer market.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of transfer market, last season once we lost Sanchez and Lukaku and Herrera, the board didn't support Ole enough by backing him in the transfer market. We didn't sign any replacement for Herrera nor for Lukaku. So even despite all these shortfalls, Ole still managed to get us into the top four. So this is I feel this is very important this season that all the board has to back Ole. He has proven that he has the potential to get us competing again for the title. So if the board doesn't back us, then we can't blame this on Ole.
Right.
And he turned Martial around.
Yeah. If you think about the team that we had at the end of the season, the previous season, we had Ashley Young, we had Romelu Lukaku, and Herrera was definitely a good positive signing. And probably halfway through the season, we ended up giving away Marwan Fellaini. So thinking about that squad to the squad that we have right now is a huge transformation within a year. Within one season, there's been a huge transformation. There is so much more positivity. The identity of the team has completely shifted. The way they play has completely shifted. So I think it's been a brilliant start from Ole, like with his first full season. And I agree with you guys that the board has to really back him and get the signings that we want. I understand they were a little apprehensive, at least at the end of last season, because there was a lot of bad results where they were still a little skeptical. So I think now the board has to absolutely back him, because he is absolutely proven that he is going in the right direction. So I mean, talking about people who Ole apart from him impacting, who are the players who really impacted? I mean, the obvious suggestion is going to be Bruno Fernandes. That is well known. But according to you guys, other than Bruno, who do you think has been a real catalyst for the kind of success that we've had this season? Go ahead, guys. Any one of you can go ahead. Go ahead. Ron, go ahead. You guys are being too nice to
Okay,
each
so
other.
so I mean, I would say that getting Maguire and Van Bissaka was a big moment for United in the transfer window. Our defense till that point was never really stable, and never really gave that confidence to us or the rest of the team. I mean, we were dependent totally on De Gea till last season. But this season, after Maguire and Van Bissaka came in, they formed a solid partnership. United has the most clean sheets in Europe in the top four leagues, which is a statistic that is hard to believe initially, but then considering how far we have come, I think it's amazing. And Bruno, of course, we know what Bruno has done, so that's fine. But I would then also bring Martial into the picture, giving him the number 9 jersey back and challenging him to prove that he deserves it. I think was an Ole masterclass, and Marshall has really taken the challenge and delivered. Yeah, stepped up to the plate, and especially after the restart, he has been on fire. So and let's not forget Rashford as well. Rashford has had an amazing season with the number of assists and the number of goals. The confidence that has been flowing through Rashford is visible for everyone, and that has transformed the team as well. And I mean, we can go on because there's also Fred, who had an amazing season after last season. Fred was in the first half of the season. Fred was the midfield master who was holding our team together, and McTominay as well along with him. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the best part. Earlier, we used to just find one player and we used to stick, okay, yeah, this player was good. The rest of them still needs to do things. Whereas now we can come up with player after player after player who has delivered.
Very true. I mean, think about the fact that we were like 16th or 17th in the league last season for the number of goals conceded, to being number 3 in the number of goals conceded. Considering De Gea's had an absolutely poor season where his save percentage is so bad, is testament to just the signings that Ole has done. Working, they've absolutely worked, and they've done really well. And they've done the job for what we paid them. KP, who are the players that you'd probably go with?
Yeah, for
I think
starters,
we covered the base with quite a few players, but
yeah. For starters, I'm happy that Luke Shaw and David De Gea is not a player of the season, and we have a lot more contenders this time around. So I think starting,
attackers,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. For
Definitely.
starters, I think the top three has done. I mean, the front three has done really well. Martial, Rashford, and Greenwood. I think they've combined to for at least 45 goals in the Premier League alone this season, and that's 15 more than what Rashford, Martial, and Lukaku got us last season. So, considering we couldn't find a proper replacement for Lukaku, this is really, really, really promising for United. So, those three for sure. Other than that, Bruno, I mean, without saying 15 goals plus assists in just 14 appearances. So the most important sign that he's doing well is that he's got a rival fans rattled. So you know that everyone's scared of Bruno.
People
So
are
yeah,
saying
Bruno Fernandes for sure.
absolute bollocks about Bruno Fernandes not being good. What? Are people
Yeah,
crazy? The rifle fans on Twitter actually who have the cheek to come out and say Bruno Fernandes is shit. Have you seen
I
him
know.
play? Have you seen the kind of performance he's done? Oh, they make me laugh. They make me absolutely laugh. Ridiculous, ridiculous.
That's a good sign that he's doing well.
Right, right,
And
right. Very
the
true.
unsung hero for this of the season would be Harry Maguire for me. I mean, he started 38 games. He's played almost. I mean, he's played all minutes possible, and I can't remember anyone in the United team doing that in the last 15 seasons. I think when I checked last, I think Patrice Evra made 3,000 plus minutes in 3 consecutive seasons, but since then, I don't think anyone has played this much for United in a single season. And
No,
this
no,
is
I
what
don't
we
think. Yeah.
this is what we are lacking, a solid leader at the back. I mean, of course he's made mistakes, but he's only going to improve. And a great testament to his leadership is, I think he even though he was injured, he decided to take painkillers and play for Ole. So I
Right,
mean,
right.
that
Shows a
goes without
lot in
saying,
Ole
he's
trusting him.
definitely captain material, and he'll be a great leader for us in the future. I think we've also conceded
Somebody's
20
got the
fewer.
cops coming on them.
They have also conceded 20 fewer goals than last season. So, like Ron said, Aaron Van Bissaka and Maguire has brought in some much needed solidity into our backline.
Right, right, right. Very true, very true. I completely agree with a lot of you guys. But Harry Maguire has been, see, for me, Harry Maguire has been an absolute great signing in terms of him being very effective as a leader on and off the pitch. But I don't think as an individual performer, he's done too well. He still needs to do really well, but that's kind of agreed with the kind of price tag that he's come with. That puts a lot of pressure on him, and that's probably where we put a base on. But nevertheless, it's this as a United centre back and as a captain, you want a captain to perform much at much higher levels, which I think will come over time. I think he's settling himself down as well. Um, so I think that's something that we have to look forward to from Harry Maguire in the season to come. Take the game by grasp and just like command his area better. I mean the previous game, if you remember the last game of the season. He absolutely bottled the ball in our box, and Matic had to bail him out with that clearance. If you guys remember right, when he was trying to dribble the ball and take it away, he still needs to. I think he's still under a lot of pressure. He needs to calm down and do much better. I mean, that being said, he's not done too bad as well, you know. Moving on to probably the next section. The next section is 3 in, 3 out. So three people that you want to see at United next season, and three people that you want out of United. I'm sure you guys have a long list of players who you want out of the club, but three would do. Three would do. Yeah.
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 Go ahead. KP, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
The three signing, I think the first one is obvious to everyone. Jadon Sancho.
Right.
He'll solve I mean, year-long problem at right wing, and also he's got this ability to play anywhere across the front three. So that'll be really useful. So in some games you can have Sancho, Rashford, Greenwood. Some games you can have Sancho, Martial, and Rashford.
Switch it around.
So yeah, so that versatility is going to be very important if we get him. Second, it would have been Grealish, but I think based on recent reports, we have to pay like close to 65 to 70 million for him. And for someone who doesn't even have an England appearance, I don't think he's worth that much. So I think we should try and sign Donny van der Beek from Ajax. I think he's available at around 40, 45 odd million. And he also brings with him European experience, and that will be really good for the squad. The third signing would probably be Declan Rice from West Ham United. He'll be the perfect understudy for Matic, and also he can also play at centre back, so he can fill two roles in one. So that will be really useful for us. So I feel these three would be perfect for us going forward next season.
3 out.
Uh, the outs are probably obvious. First is definitely Lingard. Second one is Jones, and third is Andres Pereira.
Are you
I'm not.
forgetting?
I'm not
You're
counting
not
Sanchez.
taking
He's
into
out there.
account. Okay, Sanchez and Smalling.
Smalling
Smalling.
actually is done well. So if we are not
Yeah.
able to find a centre back replacement in the transfer window, I'd probably recall him. I mean, he's gone
Whoa,
out there and
whoa, that's a bold
he's gone
claim.
out there and he's proven himself at Roma. He's become the fan favorite there. He's done really well. So
You
I mean,
know,
we should give him a chance. I feel.
think about it. Ashley Young, uh, Romelu Lukaku, Smalling. Who else went from here to the
Sanchez.
Serie A? Sanchez. Look at all of them. All four of them are United
Everyone's doing
rejects
well,
who've
actually.
been absolutely poor, and they've gone there and they've done so well at the Serie A, which speaks I'm not going to say they've become better. 1 in 4 players play better and they've gone on to do really good things. I would have agreed, but when all four of them play really well, I want to say it's the league that's the standard of the league is so bad that all of them have become really good players. That's where I would ideally look at it rather than me saying Smalling is really good. Smalling is so scared for a defender. He's so scared of the ball. You pass him the ball. And with United trying to play, with Oli trying to play at the back, he will look like a rabbit in front of the headlights. You pass, if Harry Maguire passes the ball, he's gonna freeze with the ball. He's not gonna know what to do. So I really don't think Smalling should ever wear a United shirt again. He's gonna be so bad. He's gonna be so bad. I'd rather have Teden Mengi play over Smalling. No, definitely not.
Yeah, but
I,
Ron,
I mean,
if
I
funds
would
are
say
please,
that
yeah.
the Serie A level it's a bit slower than the Premier League, but then I think another big factor is that the pressure that these guys are under at Manchester United.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. Sorry, Rohit, you were saying something.
Yeah, I guess if we are to invest our entire transfer budget in Jadon Sancho and we lose Jones, Rojo, and Tuanzebe is out with a mystery injury. I don't know when he's going to be back. So Smalling would be a
Fun.
decent backup, is where I'm coming from. So losing three
I
centre backs in one season is going to be difficult. So might as well. Smalling is probably the better player of everyone who are going to lose. So we can have him.
I guess. Better the evils. Ron, you're 3 in and 3 out.
I mean, it's more or less the same. I mean, Jadon Sancho is pretty much nailed on to come to Manchester United and boost our attack. But I think a crucial signing would be a backup for Bruno Fernandes because you could see he was completely knackered towards the end, and we really need someone who can rotate with him in that position because we will have a lot of matches coming up next season. And I'm not sure if Donny van de Beek is the right person, but if he is, then yeah, why not? Uh, Jack Grealish, again, I mean, the English tax, so to speak, comes on to players such as Jack Grealish, where their values are really inflated. And the third signing would have to be, I think, um, well, I'm torn between either a centre back or a backup for or a replacement for Matic. If it's a replacement for Matic, it has to be, I think, Thomas Partey, who has a 50 million euros release clause, and Arsenal has
And Arsenal.
apparently pulled out of this race.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
if he's willing to come to United, then I think that'd be a great signing for us.
I think we really have to pounce on the fact that Arsenal pulled out, and he will be a huge addition to us. I think Declan Rice is probably a little overrated, and again with the English tax and going in with United tax as well. That's a new thing with Van de
Yeah,
Beek and probably your Declan Rice. They will add the United tax as well that we've been forced to cough up over the last 4 5 seasons with
Yeah,
Ed
Woodward is
Woodward,
not the best of
Ed Woodward
negotiators.
and his chief negotiator. His name fails me right now.
Matt Judge.
I don't Matt Judge. I don't understand why Matt Judge is there in that role. If he's not able to save us a penny, he's probably costing us $1 million in salaries by himself, and then he's not doing his bit of negotiating when we are ending up paying the same fee that they asked in the first place after 4 months of negotiation, which is absolute bullshit. It fails me. Transfers wind me up with United, man. Transfers absolutely wind me up. We can't look at Chelsea. Look at what Chelsea did. Look at what Chelsea did. They went, okay, you want 50 million? Here, 60 million. Take it and go. It doesn't matter. That guy is going to win me. That guy is going to win me probably a Premier League title in the next 2 years. It's fine. Take the 60 million. I don't understand why they're fighting for these 5 million and 2 million, 7 million and 10 million. At the end of the day, they end up paying that money. We know it. The other teams know it. The other teams are just going to play hardball and say, "Wait, okay, fine." At the end of the day, they're going to get desperate. They're going to come back to us. They don't have anybody else. So I don't get why they just get the deals done really quick. It beats me.
I think Chelsea are already winners of the transfer window.
They have absolutely killed it. They have absolutely killed it.
If they sign a centre back, then it's going to be really difficult.
They're sorted. They're going to be they're going to be really tough. They're going to be really tough to go past. Talking about order transfers, what do you think should be the realistic objective for Oli and Manchester United next season in the Premier League, the domestic cups and the Champions League? Ron?
Well, I think in the Premier League, it honestly depends on how our transfer window goes. But as of now, I would say a top three finish is the realistic option, displacing Liverpool, City, and with Chelsea coming all in, it's not going to be easy to compete for the title with the current situation. Now, that might change once the transfer window is over and we'll know exactly who we have and who we don't. But as of now, I think a top three finish is the realistic option for us. Yeah.
A minimum top three. Yeah. Right. And what are the cups and Champions League?
For United, cups have always been important. We always tend to try and go as far as we can in the cups. So either the League Cup or Domestic Cup has to be a realistic objective for us. Domestically, we need to win one of these two cups. And if it comes to the Champions League, I think, again, now I would definitely say we should go till the quarterfinals minimum.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. Rohit?
Yeah, I completely agree with Ron. I think we are at least 5 to 6 signings away from competing for the league title. And if we get 2 to 3 of those signings right this season, we should cement the top three, at least the top 3 places next season and not take it to the final day. Cup-wise, I think we should try and go all out for the League Cup and the Domestic Cup. And for Champions League, considering the squad we have, the bench strength we have, I think we'll overachieve if we go past the round of 16. I think quarterfinal should be a good place to be next season.
Yeah. I think that's more realistic. I'm so glad. Like every single person that I've been talking to, at least, has had a very realistic thing of saying, okay, we'll finish top 3, we'll try to close the gap. Nobody's really going out and saying, head over heels, Bruno is here, Pogba is here, we're going to win the league. That's not something that we're saying, which is great. I'm glad we are, as United fans, we are a little more grounded and we are understanding of the realistic targets that we will be able to make. So that's great to.
I think.
To hear,
yeah.
Even if we are not grounded before the last 3 to 4 games, I think grounded us because the team looked absolutely knackered. I mean, the lack of bench strength was evident there. Even Ole was hesitant to go to the bench. So
you know what surprised me?
The lack of confidence. in his bench.
What absolutely surprised me was he didn't trust somebody like Fred to come on. Despite him trusting him through the season, he hardly trusted Fred to come on. He held Pogba on despite knowing Pogba is just back from an injury. He's not playing his best, which is worrisome. That's probably one thing that I'll ask Ole to probably change. Be a little more bold with making changes. Trust your players a little. At least the ones who proved you right. Okay, I understand if he doesn't want to bring Andres Pereira on with like 20 minutes to go, but he should have the trust in Fred for him to do the job with 20 minutes to go. He brings Pogba off and brings Fred on. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. He has to trust the players a little more, at least the ones who've done really well. Your McTominays, your Fred. Dan James, okay, I agree to an extent where he overperformed his ability right at the beginning, and he's probably hit his thing. But the others, he can definitely trust on them a little more. Yeah.
I think the semi-final against Chelsea was a good example of where Ole should have tried and brought out some of the other players and given them a chance to prove themselves and rested the key players. He put out the same 11, which kind of hurt our chances in the league. And I personally feel that he should have given the others a chance, irrespective of anything.
Yeah. I think Fred and McTominay would have done well if they had like 3 starts in a row. But I think with what was in the line during the season, I don't think Ole could have afforded to give them 3 starts. So I think with a good preseason, they would come back raring to go next season.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I really think so. I think they have a lot to contribute in the season to come. At least Fred and McTominay.
Yeah. Let's not forget that we have the Europa League.
This season.
Yeah, we had. Sorry, Ron, you said something.
I'm saying, Arjun, I didn't get who your 3 ins and outs are. What is your choice for the 3 ins and outs this season?
My 3 in and out is very, very simple. It's going to be something that I've been shouting for right from day one. Jadon Sancho, Grealish, and Thomas Partey. Now that Thomas Partey is available, I really want him to come in. I think he will definitely help make our squad so much more stronger. And I have a long list of outs. Let's not go there. I have a huge list of outs, starting with Alexis Sanchez, Smalling, to your Pereira. I think Jesse can still come in and do a job for us in the cups. So I don't hold back Jesse. I think Phil Jones should be the first one to be kicked out of the door. He doesn't deserve to wear a United jersey.
Would you sell Mata?
Mata's old, yeah. I think I'd get rid of Mata. But the problem is, see, again, if you're getting rid of so many players, then our squad gets really paper thin again. We don't want that. We really don't want that. We need to make sure we, have a good depth in at least in the Carabao Cup and something like that. We need a couple of players to come in and do the job, and not the youngsters. So don't forget, we have your Libet, you have your Garners, and you have your Terry Mengi and your Ethan Ladd. All of them who are in the wings, waiting to come in and cement their spot, much like what Brandon Williams has done. So they'll also have a chance to come in. I think Ole will definitely trust them and give them better chances next season.
I think we should play all of them in the first 2 rounds of the Europa League after restart. I mean, against Lask and the next round.
At least LASK, yeah. Against LASK, we have to give all the players, at least the ones who've been playing the last 14-15 games, they really need a rest. They give them a couple of weeks off, let them go chill, come back, and then.
I think they can come back for the semi-finals against Inter Milan.
Or was I really want to have Inter in the finals and just watch Lukaku cry.
I think we'll be facing them in the semi-finals. I don't think we can face them in the finals.
Yeah.
We have to face them in the semi-finals?
Face them earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Trash them.
Ashley Young derby.
Oh. Ashley Young, Lukaku, Sanchez can't play. Sanchez is still in United in the United book, so he can't play. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It'll be really nice to thrash them. All right, guys. Thank you so much. It's been so much of fun. It's been lovely to have you guys back. My lights faded on me. So I think now it's a perfect time to say bye. Thank you so much again. See you guys soon. Take care. See you guys. Thank you. If you like the video, just like, share, and subscribe to us. And, just spread the word. It'll be really nice. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye.
Cheers.
Thanks, Arjun. Thanks, man.
Bye, guys.
Tell me how good does it feel?